So now I'm going to talk about how to get a TRO. There are basically two main ways to get a TRO. One is to go straight to the courthouse. The other is through the police. And the police method breaks down into two ways. So let's start with going to the courthouse. In every county, all you need to do is go straight to the courthouse in your county. So in Jersey City, or you'd go to Hudson County, but in Newark, you would go to Essex County Superior Court. And you go to the family division. And once you're in the family division, it's basically say you tell them that you're looking to do a restraining order. They'll give you the papers. You fill the papers, enter the information. The court staff will take the papers to the judge. The judge will review the papers, and sometimes they might even ask you a question or two, and determine whether to issue a temporary restraining order right there on the spot. Obviously, this is limited to business hours for the courthouse. Which brings me to the second way by which you can get a temporary restraining order through the police. If the police and getting through the police is broken down into two different ways. One is if you go to the police station, regardless of whether the courthouse is open or not, you can walk into the police station and say, "Listen, I want to have a restraining order." They'll tell you what the incident is, what the incident is. Tell them what happened. They fill the papers, and they will call the judge. The judge will read the statement and determine whether to issue the restraining order or not, still under the police method. The second way through the police is if the police get called to a scene of an incident, whether it's a crime, or people are fighting, or if the neighbors heard noise, they call the police, or the child heard an argument and he called 911. However, the police arrive at the scene. When the police get to the scene, whomever they determine to be the alleged victim, they will counsel that person about their right to a restraining order. And if the person decides that they want a restraining order, they'll take a statement and then they'll call the judge and say, "Listen, there's a lady here or there's a guy here, we're at the scene." Usually they'll take the person with them to the police station and finish the process there, right? But they'll basically take a statement and they'll say, uh, you know, they call the judge and let the judge know. The judge reads the statements and he decides right on the spot whether to issue the temporary restraining order or not. Regardless of whether you go to the courthouse yourself or you go through the police to get it, whether the police comes to the scene or you go to the police station, when a temporary restraining order is issued, it gets served on the alleged defendant. They serve it on the defendant, and it tells them the date and time to come to court for a trial. And upon trial, if you win the trial, then the TRO becomes a final restraining order, right? In my next video, and I'll discuss, final restraining order, how we deal with it, how to win, how we handle these cases, and I also discuss the consequences of it in some other videos. This is Attorney Ade Omojola at Omojola Law. I am looking forward to solving your legal problem. Hello, this is Attorney Ade Omojola from Omojola Law, right here in Newark, New Jersey. I've been practicing law for over 14 years. I cover the areas of litigation, immigration, domestic violence / family law, and DUIs, driving under the influence. Please search Omojola Law, that's OMOJOLA, into any of your favorite search engines, and it'll pull up our website, our location, and our contact information. I'm looking forward to speaking with you. Again, this is Attorney Ade Omojola from Omojola Law, located right here in Newark, New Jersey, and I'm looking forward to solving your legal problem.